on episode 48, wow, of the podcast. I'm going to be talking about clocks, streams, and the films, which is going to be very disappointing, if I'm honest. Very. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of the Luke Who's Talking podcast with me, Luke. Number 48. That means we're very close to 50, because if you know numbers, you'll know that that's 2 away. And I have a plan for episode 50, so I should actually get the ball rolling on that plan. Anyway, let's get into the first story for you now. Last week, or was it the week before? I don't know. Recently, anyway, daylight savings has come into effect here in Australia land. Well, depending on what state you live in, because some of them don't have daylight savings. I don't think Western Australia do. I don't think they don't in Queensland. Anyway, whatever. So we had to move our clocks backwards. So went back an hour, so sort of 4 o'clock, if you will, became 3. So that means if it was getting dark, well, like we're sort of getting dark at 6, 7, that means it's getting dark now at like 5 o'clock. Fun times. Anyway, so clocks had to be moved back. So the computer, of course, does it automatically. Phone does it automatically. You just pretty much have to change your analog clocks, all the ones in your car, for example. So I was in Mum's car the other day and changed the time on her clock pretty easily. No drama. But when I got into my car to change the time, I just had a complete meltdown as to how to do it. I was there sitting in the car and I had completely no idea how to do it. I was going where I thought I had to, like in the car's menu, but that wasn't the right place to go. I actually ended up started to call somebody. I was like, no, I don't want to do that. That's not right. And it was just a lot harder than what it had to be. That's for sure. It was most definitely a lot harder than what it had to be. So, but I got the channel. But the clock changed, but anyway, when I was changing it, the clock in the car is 24 hours. So once I figured out how to change the time, I then, of course, had to just do the quick little calculation of how to convert, the time into the 24-hour clock, which, it's not really that hard, just like sort of, it's 12, isn't it? You take 12, or if you want to, you can be like, say it's 1800, get rid of the 2, gives you 6 o'clock. So, yeah, but I was having a little bit of a moment about changing the time on the car's clock. I was just completely, I won't say oblivious, but I was having a real moment as to how to actually change it. But I ended up changing it in the end, and she's apples. So something that I've been procrastinating about quite a bit is doing some streams, or starting to do some streams, do a bit of streaming. Now, everybody's doing that now because everybody's at home, but hey, I haven't jumped on the streaming bandwagon because of that. I've been thinking about doing it for a good while. Anyway, so I don't really have any excuse not to now. My excuse before was like, oh, got to get a computer that can do it, because the old Mac wasn't playing ball. But got a good computer now, thanks to the Elder Spray and the approval of Mr. Blob. And so, got a computer, and so I don't really have an excuse now not to stream. Anyway, so I've done a couple. At this point, I've done 3. I started off with classics. I've started off with a classic American Truck Sim. That was a quick little sort of test stream, see how things went. And then I played City Skylines, did a stream of that, which was I had to learn the game a bit more. Which, was somebody who was watching the stream, it wasn't that thrilled with how I was playing the game. They were apparently a bit frustrated about it all. And then just now, I'm recording this on Wednesday, so I've just finished playing Euro Truck Sim. So that, again, is just a very casual game. I'm not really into these shooters or anything like that. So just, going to play some casual games. Hopefully going to do 2 streams a week. I think Wednesday and one on the weekend. So either Saturday or Sunday, sort of floating. Possibly on Sundays, I think, really ideally. But it'll depend on if I have... it'll depend on various things, but there'll be one on the weekend and one on Wednesdays. So I'm just going to go, I've got to rotate through games. So it's going to be, this is how they're going to go. So on Wednesday, so the first Wednesday it'll be American Truck Sim. And then on the first weekend, it'll be City Skylines. And then on the second Wednesday, it'll be Euro Truck Simulator. And then on the second weekend, it will be Farming Simulator. So just some very casual games to play. The streams I've done so far, I think have gone okay, have worked well, which is good. Haven't had anybody be like, oh my God, that was so awful. I mean, maybe they want to say that, but they're too kind, and they haven't. So if that's the case, appreciate you. But just been doing a couple of streams, and it's been a little bit of fun. That's for sure. So into that, giving it a go, and I think it's been going okay. The computer hasn't, at least I don't think, hasn't cooked itself. And the first stream I did actually had a little bit of a problem because I couldn't see the chat, of course, but I've since downloaded so I use Streamlabs OBS, and I've downloaded their app, and as a result, I can use the app as a remote, so I can swipe transitions and see the chat on the app, which is the most important thing. So I can see what people are saying and have that little bit of interaction. So it's been going okay, that's for sure. So you can come along and watch me or subscribe if you want to. It's Luke Who's Live on Twitch, and hopefully very soon I'm in the process with working with somebody, and we're in the process of getting some nice artwork for Twitch, and also some new artwork for podcast here. So hopefully that'll be coming along soon. But we'll see how it goes. But so I'm on the streaming train, that's for sure. So when it's going all right, like, it would be good, I would admit, if I had 2 screens, if I had a bit more room to have a bit more of a more posh setup. But at the moment, just starting out, most definitely don't need any of that stuff, so it's all going all right. Anyway, let's move into the films. Now, this is going to be very disappointing. Now it is time for the films. Now, here's the thing with the films. Since last podcast, where I talked about whatever I watched, Where Eagles Dare was one of them, one of the films, I have not watched any more films or logged any more reviews on my letterbox, because I've been, the next movie to watch is Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, and I'm sort of like a bit lukewarm about watching that. However, apart from that excuse, I've been having some problems with my Plex server on my NAS, on my network storage, and I'm not sure what the problem is. I've gone on there, it's like, oh, it's not connected, there's an error, blah, blah, blah. So I've tried sort of updating the app and whatever else on the server, on my network, but to no avail. So last night, what I did when I was on the software for dashboard for my storage, what I did was uninstalled the app off of there, and I've noticed it's in the App Store for my NAS, for my Synology. It's in the Synology App Store, which it wasn't. I don't think it was initially when I installed it, because I downloaded the package from the Plex website and installed it that way. So I'm going to try installing it on through the Synology little app store. So we'll see how that goes, and hopefully I can get it working again. But we'll see how that plays out. But anyway, even though I haven't really been watching any movies, there's been plenty on TV. And the other day, last week, there was 2 very good escape movies on. I watched a bit of one of them, but the other one I didn't watch at all. But one of them was Chicken Run. Now, that's the one I didn't watch at all, but it's an escape movie, really. And it's a really good one. It's a good movie, and it's a pretty good, escape movie. Maybe people don't really think of it like that, but it is. It is an escape movie. And also, the other day, The Great Escape was on, and that, of course, is an escape movie because Escape's in the title. So that, once again, that's a good movie as well. And that was on the other night. Watched a little bit of that, and geez, that's got some. It's got a star-stacked cast. I mean, you don't see movies anymore that have a heap of really good quality actors in it, like The Great Escape, for example. You've got Richard Attenborough, he's very good. Steve McQueen. You've got, I'm not sure what his name is, but he's Ducky in NCIS. He's in it. James Garner, or Jim Rockford, he's in it. Donald Pleasance. You've got these good actors in it. Charles Bronson, and he's in it, and it's James Coburn. He's in it as well. So this movie's got, a lot of good quality actors, and you don't really see that these days, where a movie might have sort of one or two big stars, three maybe. If it's like a really lousy comedy, you might have, Seth Rogen and Vince Vaughn and Adam Sandler. So you might have three people, but you don't really get movies with, sort of 5-6 big cast members in it these days anymore, as opposed to, movies, older movies have multiple sort of big name actors in them, but ones these days don't seem to. I don't know if it's because of budgets and things. I'm not really sure, but yeah, anyway, it's an interesting thing. So I haven't watched any films, but The Great Escape was on. I did watch a bit of that. And Chicken Run was on the other day, and it's a good heist movie. It's a good escape movie. So watch them. There you go. Watch those two movies. Well, everybody, that is it for this episode of the podcast. Hope you enjoyed it. Share it with a friend if you want to. Tell your dad about it, or your mum, or your sister, or your cousin, or your aunt, or your uncle, or your co-workers. Why not? Anyway, I'll be back next time with another episode. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter at L_who's talking. You can send me an email, LukeWho'sTalkingPod@gmail.com, and I'll catch you next time. And before I go, I hope you're doing all right out there. I hope you're being safe in this interesting time in humanity. Anyway, catch you next time.